Clinton. I'm the editor of Clinical Services Journal. I'm at EBME Expo today and I'm joined by Jamie Grimshaw from Erbe. So, what are you highlighting at the event today?
Well, Louise, we're focusing a lot at this event on our service maintenance offering, mainly because we're trying to raise awareness in the NHS about the number of medical devices and the amount of medical equipment that falls out of service for one reason or another throughout the year. So we recognise this as a challenge, and working with our customers, we decided that we would create a new bespoke service maintenance offering to try to reduce the risk for hospitals of having that equipment falling out of contract. So we've launched that about a year ago now. It's been really successful for us, and we're continuing to highlight the value of offering that type of contract to our customers. And effectively, it's a total peace of mind contract. So the idea is we ask our customers to outsource the risk of the maintenance of Erbe equipment back to Erbe, and our goal is to maintain uptime as close to 100% as possible. So we focus on a preventative maintenance schedule. That means that we spot any potential problems before they become big issues for customers. We focus on, if something does go wrong, how do we get them loan provision quickly? So we offer a next day loan provision if we're informed before 2 p.m. And then we also focus on really fast turnaround of repairs. So we carry stock in the UK for all of our repairs. We have service technicians in the UK to do those repairs quickly and get the products back to our customers as fast as possible. And that's an exclusion-free contract. So anything that goes wrong with the equipment, we bring back and we maintain and send back to the customers. And really, from our perspective, we think that's the best way that we can support our customers in the medical engineering field with the uptime of their equipment, and also make sure that our clinicians and patients ultimately get the best equipment used upon them for better patient outcomes.
So why is it so important? Is it more from a cost perspective, or patient safety, or a bit of both?
It's a combination of things. When we work with electrosurgery products, is the main product that we have.
Right.
So on an annual basis, we need to check that the outputs from the systems are accurate, that they're delivering the right amount of energy as expected, that there's no risk there from a patient perspective. What we wouldn't want to happen is a device hasn't been calibrated for more than a year, because that then represents an increased risk for patients and ultimately for clinicians. But also from a cost perspective, what we're trying to do is make the costs more predictable from a budget setting perspective, so that hospitals aren't facing ad hoc repair costs if something does go wrong. So we've priced our product at an attractive price point, I guess, to make it easy for people to transition over to that. But the main focus for us is about maintaining uptime. So whilst we always end up in a conversation about cost, actually the most important thing from our perspective is we don't want to see lists or patients cancelled. So if we can maintain their service by giving them the equipment, keeping that equipment working the majority of the time for hospitals, it just reduces the risk of adding more to the patient backlog that we have.
Absolutely. I don't think that it's never been so important with the backlog, has it, to ensure that uptime. What are some of the ways in which medtech is advancing, do you think, and helping to improve patient safety, outcomes, staff safety and efficiency that you're seeing? What are some of the sort of trends and advances that are really coming to the fore, do you think?
I think I've worked in medtech now for 15 years, and I've seen over that time this advancement of technology, and it seems to be speeding up. It's moving in lots of different directions. We're seeing artificial intelligence being a big thing. Robotics has been a big element, and it's continuing to be a big focus for medical technology organisations. And Erbe plays a role in some of that, where we are working with robotics organisations. Some of our products are integrated into some of the robots that are used in the NHS every day. Some of the leading providers of robotics are using Erbe or are doing research and development with Erbe technology to make sure that they can integrate that technology into what they're offering. So I think that's an exciting space. And I also think one of the things that we're very focused on as an organisation is how do we make sure that our technology is as safe as it possibly can be. So the technology that we offer in the UK at the moment, particularly Vial 3, we've worked really hard to enhance the safety features of that technology. So we've increased substantially the amount of data points that we sense per cycle, per second. And the intention of doing that is to be able to spot if something is going wrong, spot that faster.
Right.
What we've also done is built into that some additional safety features that just protect the patient from any sort of patient injury. We have, for example, a system that's built in there called NESI, which is the neutral electrode safety system. And the idea behind that is to make sure that that current that's running through the patient is taken out of the patient in a really safe way. And unfortunately for some patients, they incur burns where the patient return electrode is placed. Our safety system reduces the risk of that substantially.
Right.
And we're so confident about how that technology works that we now indemnify any customers who are using Erbe technology in the whole, including the NESI safety system, because we're so confident that the patient won't be injured because of the use of that technology.
Fantastic. In terms of Erbe, you've been around for about 100 years, haven't you? It's a really long time. So I just wondered, how do you plan to combine that experience in electrosurgery with imaging technology to advance patient care? I know that things are really moving forward for you.
We celebrated a couple of years ago our 170th birthday, and I guess as a business we started way back then with a small shop doing various medical instruments, and of course we've evolved into a global organisation now in our own right. Still headquartered out of Germany, still with our CEO, our chief executive, is still a member of the Erbe family. He's the 5th generation of the Erbe family to lead the organisation.
Right.
So we have this wonderful heritage to fall back on, and we launched the very first surgical diathermy system over 100 years ago now.
Wow.
So we've been in that space for a long period of time. And often Erbe is seen as the thought leaders and the most innovative company in that electrosurgical space. We tend to move, and then others then follow and try and catch up, and then we move again. So the beauty of this integration of diathermy and electrosurgery technology with imaging is we already have that huge heritage in diathermy, and we already have a great reputation in that space for quality and for innovation. What we're now doing is setting out a new journey, which is around imaging. We've acquired, I think it's in public domain, we've acquired a number of companies over the last several years.
Right, okay.
And we're bringing that technology and know-how together really to offer something quite special and quite unique. We're launching our Byron 1 and Byron X series of products, and that's a combination of research and development from Erbe engineers and engineers from the organisations that we've acquired over the last several years, which will be exciting. And one area where we see these technologies combining really effectively, as an example, is in the place of urology, where we'll see resectoscopes quite regularly used for treatments there, and by providing a really high quality white light image with our Byron 1 system, which we're showing here at EBME Expo, as well as our resectoscopes that we also produce, and our Bio 3 diathermy system. That's a perfect combination of imaging, of device, and then of ultimately the electrosurgery being delivered with bespoke modes that are specifically designed to be used in things like resectoscopy.
So sustainability is really high on the agenda at EBME at the moment. What are you doing as a company to really support that?
It's something I'm actually really proud of within Erbe. I had the pleasure of being part of the team that presented at our global kick-off meeting earlier this year on sustainability and on the work that the NHS is doing to really forward the message around net zero and the importance of sustainability in healthcare. So it's something that's really dear to my heart personally. And both globally and in the UK, we're making big steps around the sustainability journey. Globally, we've just opened a new manufacturing facility, which is out in Germany. One of the focuses when we started that project from design phase all the way through to completion was how do we design the most environmentally friendly manufacturing facility in Germany. And still to this day, we regularly review all of the applications from an architect's perspective to see if there are other facilities that are being built to the same standards. And we're still amongst the leading organisations that are doing that from a manufacturing standpoint. And then closer to home here in the UK, we've already adopted a number of steps that are designed to try to reduce down our carbon footprint.
Right.
And I guess our general focus is it's about aggregation of marginal gains here. So small incremental improvements in lots of areas will probably make a big change for us over time. So for example, we're transitioning our company car fleet towards electric vehicles. We've changed the way that we deliver goods to our customers. So in the past, all of our capital equipment came to our Leeds head office and then went back out to our customer sites. Now we do point-to-point deliveries from our manufacturing facility in Germany to customer sites to reduce down the amount of road miles that the products are moving on. We've moved to a paper-free solution when it comes to marketing. For example, we don't print marketing brochures anymore, and we're also looking at using digital technologies to try to reduce down the amount of carbon that we emit. So things like, can we deliver training courses through things like digital media? Can we even do service calls via video? Via a video link to do first fix rather than having to send somebody physically to go and inspect things. So we're thinking across the whole of the organisation, how do we make these small changes, be it in packaging, be it in logistics, be it in service, be it in sales, how can we make small changes that ultimately when you add those things together, they start to have a big impact on our net zero ambitions as an organisation.
So what are you doing in terms of education as well to support clinical engineers and clinicians? What are some of the things that you're doing to really help them with accessing those kind of educational resources?
As one of the leading providers of our technology globally, I think it's incumbent upon us to really focus on education. So last year, 2023, we invested in more clinician training than we'd ever done before. It was a record year for us from that perspective. And 24 will hold pace with 23. So it's a big focus for us to make sure that our clinical partners understand how to use the technology to the best of its ability to get the most from it. But also we recognise that there are other people that need training as well. So we do regular in-service training with nursing staff at audit days, for example. And we also work with some of our customers from a medical engineering background on preventative maintenance inspection type training or first fix training that we offer as part of our service offering to the market. And then on top of that, we've now launched a new digital platform, our Erbe Academy. And again, that works for us from a sustainability perspective as well as from a training perspective. What we're now doing is integrating into that platform lots of training modules, from small videos of how you turn the system on to very complex 3-hour lectures on the science behind electrosurgery and diathermy technology. And anyone that's an Erbe customer can get free of charge access to that portal. And from the conversations we're having with clinical educators and clinical teams in hospitals, they see that as real value because they're able then to do that training in their own time, upskill in their own time. It's all fully certificated. And again, it's further investment from our side in giving people access to training at the point when they want it rather than on a set day at a set time.
Fantastic. So just one last question. You've announced some strategic acquisitions in recent times. What does this mean for Erbe and the portfolio of technologies that you can offer? But also, what's the vision going forward?
Yeah, I think we reached a point of inflection a few years ago where we changed our global executive board structure, and as part of that change, it started to take Erbe on a different journey, and that involved some mergers and acquisition type activities. So we have acquired 3 companies quite strategically in the imaging space, and those 3 companies are now fully integrated into the Erbe organisation. So they're working with our engineers within Erbe on joint research and development projects, for example. And I can't give away too many secrets, but I guess I've seen some of the technology that they're pulling together now, and it's really exciting for me to see what they're working on. And the message that I'd probably say on that is it's not the end of our M&A activity. The goal for our organisation is to continue to invest in companies, but we're quite particular in terms of what types of organisations we're looking at. Now people know that we're acquiring companies, we get lots of offers to look at different companies, and actually we're very focused on organisations that fit within our strategy, that are complementary to what we already offer. We don't want to buy up companies that are Me Too type companies. We want to buy in technology and know-how and experience in specific segments that really add value to our organisation. And then I think as we look forward to the future, even with the 3 that we've acquired, in the UK we haven't seen the value of them yet. We're just launching the imaging systems at the moment, which is the first joint R&D piece of work between Maxa, one of the first organisations that we bought, and Erbe. Our co-R&D program there delivered the Viron 1 and Viron X technology, which is what we're launching here from July onwards. But as we look into the future, we will see more around imaging coming out from those organisations. And then I guess watch this space for further acquisitions. I know we're working actively on these at a global scale, and as and when we're ready to announce the next acquisition and how that looks for the organisation, I guess everybody will know at that point.
Excellent. Exciting times.
Very much.
Some really interesting comments there. Thank you so much for joining us, and enjoy the rest of the show.
Thank you.
Thank you.